All right, guys, I'm going to do my post-game video now. It's like 2 minutes, like 3 minutes left in the game, some shit like that. I'm just going to make the video now, guys. Congratulations to the Florida State Seminoles. Florida State fans, talk all the shit you want. Talk about how you should have made the playoffs and talk about how Alabama got their ass kicked and whatever. You guys deserve all the trash. Castellanos deserves everything that he's getting. I mean, he talked his shit. He backtracked, but he talked his shit. He backed it up. They deserve this win. Gus Malzahn, fuck you. I hate Gus Malzahn with a burning fucking passion. I hate that dude so much. These offenses have been giving us trouble for a decade plus to this goddamn day. So fuck you, Malzahn. But no, this is not just guys. We simply against these types of offenses, and it's not just Gus Malzahn's not the only coach that runs what he runs. Vanderbilt and Oklahoma literally beat us the exact same way that Florida State did. It was by running this inverted veer look, these inverted veer-like concepts, these power read option concepts, motioning the receiver, kind of fooling our defense. And again, a lot of offensive lines just play kind of more in gap. We are a zone-based team, guys. We are a team that, for the most part, we do not play with loaded boxes. We run mostly like a 4-2-5 kind of nickel sort of defense. We run with two linebackers, mostly that are good in coverage. We play a lot of deep zone, a lot with our safeties and with our secondary. We rarely, for the most part, we play a lot of off-man coverage with our corners. Our defense is not built to stop inverted veer like offenses or these spread like offenses that mainly focus on a heavy power run sort of scheme that Vanderbilt ran, that Oklahoma ran. We're not built for it. This is why I talked about this during the halftime shit. This is why I didn't talk my stuff. This is why I didn't make one video talking about Bama and Florida State. There's a reason why I didn't do that. There's a reason why I didn't go and say that we're going to automatically go play for a national championship. This defense is simply not it. They are undersized on the defensive line. They are undersized at linebacker, and we do not have the discipline and we don't have the discipline and gap integrity within this defensive line to beat offenses like this. You have to be disciplined. And you can't be you cannot play the quality, the sort of defense that we play in order to that. You're not going to win against these teams. This zone shit is not going to win. We ran with three down linemen. How many fucking times? Like too many goddamn times. What's crazy? When we actually loaded the box and we decided to play with 5-man fronts and we decided to bring the safeties down, we stopped the run. But for some reason, when we got back-to-back drives of simply doing something that we probably should have been doing, we went right back to light boxes and we got killed again with this inverted veer shit. Guys, this game isn't shocking to me. And the crazy part is, because we're Alabama, everyone's going to make Florida State look like a fucking superpower. Florida State, I think, obviously is a much more improved team than what they were last year. I like Tony White as a defensive coordinator. I love the inverted stunts that they were doing. I loved it a lot. I think Thomas Castellanos obviously is a huge upgrade compared to DJ Uiagalelei. And obviously with Gus Malzahn on that offense, they're going to be a much more physical, run-oriented team. But do not get it twisted. Florida State isn't a great team. They are. I think they can be a good team. I don't think that they are a great team. And Florida State fans, you can disagree with me all you want. It's your team. I understand it completely. But we are not a good team. We're not a great team. Sorry. We're not a great team either. We won 9 games last year. We lost 3 times. We lost 3 times to teams that barely could throw the ball. Hell, we lost to a team that had 100 yards passing. We're not, and the crazy part is we lost 3 times because of the run game. We gave up close to 200 yards in all 3 of our losses. I think Florida State, they might have had 200 rushing yards again. We are small in the trenches. We are small at linebacker. And our style of defense, which is a zone-based defense, it doesn't work. Kane Womack's defense does not work against these style of defenses. Now, do I think that Kane Womack is a bad defensive coordinator? No, I don't think he's a bad defensive coordinator. Some people are saying, well, Pete Golding's better. Pete Golding's running Nick Saban's defense. Look at how Pete Golding is now with Ole Miss. How they're still winning still going 9-3, and how his pass defense are getting torched. I don't think Womack's a bad defensive coordinator. Do I think he's a great defensive coordinator? No. But if you're going to run the style of defense that you're going to run, you have to get heavier in the interior defensive line. Our best interior defensive lineman, I hate to say it, was fucking LT Overton, who's a 5-tech defensive end. The fact of the matter is, guys, Bama is not Bama. They're not. And we have to admit that. We are not Bama. We don't have the size like we used to. We don't have the quarterback play like we don't have the quarterback play, and we don't have the dominance in the offensive line in the trenches like we used to. Remember, I made a video previewing Alabama, and I told you my concerns was this offensive line. They're not dominant up front, and the crazy part is this offense is built to dominate up front, and we're not dominant. So I don't know what in the hell we're going to do against defenses that not only match but exceed our interior offensive line. Because we're not good. Like, I like Parker Brailsford. Cam Dewberry is supposed to be a powerful road grader, but Geno Van Vandermark is that guy. Jaden Roberts, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. And Caden Proctor, stop telling me about Caden Proctor. Stop. I'm tired of fans telling me about how good Caden Proctor is. He is garbage. NFL Draft Buzz, this is why I don't follow your shit. This is why when PFF and this is why. Like, if you're going to talk about player evaluations and you're going to go based off of that, guys, come up with your own conclusions. Come up with your own conclusions and own advanced metrics. Don't just go off of projection. When PFF, for the third year in a row, said that Alabama was going to have a top 5 offensive line, I didn't listen to that shit. I bought into it for 2 years. The third time, you're not getting me the third time. You're not getting me the third time. I didn't fall for that bullshit because I wasn't a believer in this offensive line. You think Cam Dewberry? You think I'm confident in Cam Newberry or Dewberry, whatever the fuck his name is? You think I'm confident in Caden Proctor when he hasn't shown me shit for the last 2 years? You think I'm confident in Wilkin Formby? The only one I am confident in is Parker Brailsford, who's 290 pounds at 6'2", who's undersized. Alabama isn't a great team. Now, can they be a good team? Sure. I still think Alabama has a chance of winning 8 or 9 games. Absolutely they can. And not every team is going to be like Florida State. Not every team is going to have that offense where they can run that inverted shit, where they can run that veer look. Not every team's going to run like that. But there are 2 teams that we do play that has that same similar style of offense, that spread veer shit. And that's Vanderbilt and that's Oklahoma. The 2 teams that we got our ass kicked by last year. And now Auburn has a running quarterback in Jackson Arnold who you can actually implement those concepts. Gunnar Stockton's a running quarterback for Georgia. I wish Georgia had Carson back at quarterback because I know we'll win against them. Now that they have a running quarterback, you watch the film, you don't think Georgia's going to implement that with their power run scheme? Guys, the fact of the matter is Bama is too small. They're too light. And it's a scheme and a personnel issue. It's not just a coaching issue. It's a personnel and coaching issue. And offensively, our offensive line isn't good. The only positive to take away from this, the only thing going into the year that I was so positive on was the receivers. I was confident in Jeremy Bernard. Ryan Williams, he suffered a concussion today. He's going to miss the next game. He's going to miss the next game. Ryan Williams had a terrible game. 4 drop passes. He had a terrible game. No. Ryan Williams is an excellent receiver. He is a first-round receiver. He's not better than Jeremiah Smith. Stop it. He's an excellent receiver. He had a bad game today. He had a terrible game today. We can admit that. Isaiah Horton, he was hurt, but he didn't do shit. He had like 1 catch. Ty Simpson, I ain't gonna lie. Ty Simpson, now everyone's gonna be on Ty Simpson. Why? Did people think that Ty Simpson was gonna elevate Alabama's offense to the next level? He didn't start for 3 years for a reason. I seen him in that South Florida game. You think I'm confident in Ty Simpson? No, the only way we're going to be successful this year is if our offensive line dominates in the trenches, our run game gets going, and you can follow it up with play action with short to intermediate concepts. That's the only way Alabama's going to be successful. And that first drive against Florida State, it was working. We started to run a lot more short shit. We started to run a lot more to the sticks. We did a lot of short intermediate concepts. We ran the ball extremely well. That's Ty Simpson, and you can use him in play action because he is a mobile quarterback. But his arm sucks. His arm is terrible. He can be accurate at times, but he does not have the consistency, and he doesn't have that consistent velocity you expect to have your quarterbacks. This is one of the, you thought Mac Jones had a weak arm. Look at Ty Simpson, the velocity he puts in his throws. He can barely drive it consistently, and that's concerning, especially on the run. Off-platform throws are terrible. Unfortunately, guys, this is the way it's going to be. We are an 8-9 win team. I have zero this is why I said, I hope we can make the playoffs. That was my expectation. But I was hoping that we could beat Florida State. I was hoping that I had us losing to Oklahoma again. I had us struggling against Vanderbilt, but finding a way to pull it off because I don't think their defense is as good as, I don't think that they'd have the personnel on defense to match up with their offense. But I may take it back now because I have zero confidence in this offensive line, which has been troubling for 5 years. I have zero confidence at all within the defensive structure against this type of offense, which will play 3 more teams, and it may be 2 more that you may add to the pile because they have mobile quarterbacks that they can use those concepts implemented into their offense. It's just the way things are, guys, and people are going to be on the fire Kalen DeBoer bandwagon. They'll be on the fired Kane Womack bandwagon. I don't even care at this point, guys. I don't even care at this point because if we fire these coaches, I can guarantee you the next coach you'll bring in, unless we dominate, and I mean dominate in the transfer portal, we get bigger in the trenches on both sides. We actually get quality offensive linemen. We get bigger linebackers. Like it's going to be a complete overhaul. It's going to have to be a complete overhaul of the team. You're going to have to change the structure of this team. It's a rebuild. And unless y'all are prepared to go for another rebuild, unfortunately, DeBoer is probably going to be the coach of this team for the next 2 years, whether you like it or not. Unless they buy out his contract, they bring another coach in, and now you're going to have to overhaul the entire team. This is the reality of the situation for us, unfortunately. And the crazy part is, I still think we can beat Georgia. I still think we can beat LSU. But when it comes to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, I have zero confidence we're going to win those games against those mobile quarterbacks with that structure of how their offenses are built. It's the exact same we're going to see from FSU. We are 0-3 against teams like, we're 0-2 against, 0-3 now because I got to count this season. We're 0-3 against teams like, against these type of offenses. 0-3. And we've been dominated in the trenches. Why? Because the veer looks, the lack of discipline and gap integrity, and it's a mismatch. It has nothing to do with effort. It has nothing to do with talent. It is scheme versus scheme. Their scheme blows ours off the water. It is what it is. And until we actually, until we actually abandon this, and we can become a lot more aggressive defensively, bring the safeties down, I don't know what we can do. Because if you're going to play this level of defense, you have to have the size up front that can two-gap, that can play gap integrity. You have to have the defensive ends. And quite frankly, besides LT, I don't know what we have. I don't know what we have. So it is what it is, Bama fans. It's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long season. This is why I didn't make any videos. This is why I didn't drop in any podcast. This is why I stayed quiet for the offseason. You guys wonder why I didn't do shit? You know why. Because this was the least confident I was ever in on a Bama team because I had a feeling, based off of the lack of changes we made in the offseason, that something like this was going to happen, and it happened. Catch you guys on the next one. As always, it's Forever Roll Tide. Catch you guys on the next one.